Okay. And also I will need to mute everyone. And okay, good. So today we're celebrating Teachers Day, by the way, and I'm working, right? Traditionally, we don't have activities on Teachers Day, but you know, this pandemic is making us do very different things now. Well, I'm excited to have this additional class. Now we're going to be having two classes a week. So let's get started. Yes, for well, you know the rules, right? Remember, try to actively participate. Keep your microphones muted when you don't have anything to say for the class, let's say, right? Unless you are participating for an exercise, please leave your microphone muted and keep your materials nearby because we're working a lot today. And let's get started, okay? Um, like I said, today we are looking at two files, 6A and 6B. These two files are files that we already saw in the past. Yes, we saw them in the first two classes, right? In the first one, we saw 6A, and on the second one, 6B. And probably you saw the video lessons for this as well. I don't know, but just in case, we are revisiting those. Um, our first unit, file 6A, was shot on location. Are you watching movies now that you have more free time? I mean, do you have more free time? Because personally, I don't really have a lot of. But are you watching more movies or series? What are you guys doing now during the quarantine? Did you get a chance to watch more Netflix, for example? What are you guys watching? Remember, you can always use. Robert is giving me here congratulations for the day. Thank you, Robert. So, have you been watching anything lately? No movies, no series? Not really. Well, I haven't, to be honest. Right? Personally, I haven't. Okay. Well, let's remember what this unit was about. Yes, this unit was about the passive. Yes, the passive voice, which is always a combination of be plus the participle. But let's look at some of our examples here. We have our first set of examples. Yes, well, let's read all of them. Yes, a lot of movies are shot on location, the name of our unit. Our car is being repaired today in the present continuous form. And this bike has been stolen using present perfect. The director died when the movie was being made. This is, of course, past continuous. You'll be picked up at the airport by one of our staff. We're using the future with will. And this bill has to be paid tomorrow. Here we're using have to. Yes. But let's refresh absolutely everything again one more time. And let's look at the first sentence. Yes. So let's analyze the structure to remember each section or what elements we need to have in this passive voice. So of course we need our subject, we have an action and a complement, right? We know that in a traditional active sentence, the subject creates an action on the verb. But we know that that is not the case in the passive structure. In fact, it's the opposite way around. The subject is receiving this action, right? Alternatively, we could use an active version of this sentence, where we can say something like, "They shoot a lot of movies on location." Yes. In this case, I am inventing a subject they. Yeah, we don't know who that they is. The filmmakers, whatever. Yes. Um, our verb this time is shoot. Yes, in the present form. And yes, the subject is creating this action. This is what we call an active expression. Yeah, good. Then we had here the comment of when do we use the passive. Basically, we use the passive in three situations. When we don't say who creates the action. when we don't know who creates the action, or when it's just not important, when we don't consider to be important who creates that action. Like in the example of the bike being stolen, right? And this bike has been stolen. You don't really know who took the bike, and it's not really that the main focus of your expression. That's why you choose to use the passive voice here, okay? Somebody stole the bike. We don't know who. Okay. And then we have a second case, which is the one that we have there in number 2, where it says, Batman Begins was directed by Christopher Nolan. This time around, we are specifically saying who created the action. And for that, we are using our expression by that introduces the author of this action, right? Well, this is an option, right? You can choose to present it this way or the other one. Yes, and here they contrast the two versions. In the passive voice, Batman Begins was directed by Christopher Nolan, or alternatively, Christopher Nolan directed Batman Begins in 2005. Good. Then let's remember how to form negatives and questions. To make negatives, what we need to do is transform the V part into a negative. And to make the questions, we need to alter the order of the verb be and the subject. So this review, let's put it to practice. Let's see if you remember. Yes, our exercise B that you have here, we worked on exercise A last time. So now let's work on exercise B. Basically, what we're supposed to do here is rewrite the sentences from the active to the passive, okay? It says only use by if it's necessary. If we consider it's not important, we don't use by. Let's look at our active example. It says, people don't use this room very often, okay? The passive version, this room isn't used very often. Now, what is the key here to establish how to create our passive form? We need to identify the verb in the active version and understand what are the characteristics. In this case, we are using a verb in the present and it's negative, yes? So we will take those characteristics and use it in the be part of our participle structure. Be will be presented in the negative and present form because the other verb is always participle. The verb that was originally active in the passive voice is always participle. Be is the one that transforms. So let's see how we do with this one. We have here, they subtitle a lot of foreign movies. So for this case, what is our verb in the active form? What is the verb that we have in that sentence? You can write it in the chat section. They subtitle a lot of foreign movies. What is our verb there? Subtitle. Okay, thank you, Robert. Right, that's correct. This is our verb, subtitle. And is this verb in the present, the past, the future? The past. Do you see any ed at the end? This is actually present. Exactly. Thank you, Ruth. Yes. Fidel says the past, but it's actually the present. Yes, it's the present. So now we know that our version of be is supposed to be in the present form for our passive version of the sentence. So subtitle will be, of course, here used as a participle. We know that because the active verb in the in the passive structure is the participle. And then the other verb, be, will imitate its tense and if it's negative or positive. So how do you think we can create here our sentence, our passive sentence for this one? Give me your ideas. A lot of foreign movies. Okay. A lot of foreign movies are subtitled. Yes, that's what Robert is suggesting over there. Let's take a look at our answer. Exactly. Sorry. Yes. A lot of foreign movies are subtitled with the final ed, right? Because we are now using the participle version. Good. Next is sentence. Garcia Marquez wrote "Love in the Time of Cholera." What is our verb in this case? In this first, in the active form, what is the verb? Exactly, wrote. And this is present, past, future. The past, exactly. So how do we create our participle for this? Love in time of cholera was written by, that is what Ruth is proposing over there. Yes. Love, exactly. Don't forget the by, exactly. Love in the Time of Cholera was written by Garcia Marquez. Yes. In this case, we need to include the by because it's relevant for the idea. Yes, we know exactly who the person was, so it's important to include by. Yes. Okay, let's go faster with the next one. Number 3, someone is repairing my laptop. This can be a bit trickier. What is our tense this time, guys? Present perfect. Our action over here, our action over here is repairing with the ing there. How do we call that one? Do you remember that? We call this the present continuous, right? The present continuous, exactly, present continuous, which is a combination of be and the ing of the other verb. So that is what we are now supposed to imitate for our for our for our verb be. Yes, we are supposed to imitate that power over there in be. So how are we going to present then our new sentence? My laptop is being repaired. Yes, Ruth is on fire, huh? My laptop is being repaired. Exactly. My laptop is being repaired. Oh, wait. And here, this is a situation in which we don't need to include the by, right? I put it there in parentheses just to show you that if you want, you could include it. But according to our exercise, we are not supposed to include it because it's not really necessary, okay? So my laptop is being repaired by someone. We don't really know who, okay? Good. Next. They haven't released the DVD of the movie yet. Now, yes, it's present perfect, right? So what is the the passive version of this sentence? They haven't released the DVD of the movie yet. So basically, how are we supposed to present verb be this time around? We're using present perfect. right? So the present perfect is always a combination of have or has plus the participle version. In this case, participle version of be, which is been. No ideas for this one, apparently. Okay, let's repeat the answer. Yes. Hasn't released, says Robert. Almost, almost, close, close. Thank you, Fidel. Exactly. Hasn't been released. Don't forget, Robert, we are supposed to use a version of be, right? So hasn't been is the present perfect version of be, right? And then the participle version of the other verb, release, right? Hasn't been released yet. Awesome. Let's move on to 5. They won't finish the movie until the spring. Now it's a future form. So what are your thoughts for this one? How can we transform this one? Exactly. Thank you, Ruth. The movie won't be finished until the spring. Ruth, are you the one who used to be my student? Just in case.
Yes.
Oh, hello. Nice to see you digitally,
Hi.
this, right? Yeah. I was like, okay, this Ruth is on fire, and it reminded me of my other of you, right? Okay. So yes, the movie won't be released. Sorry, won't be finished until the spring. Good. Let's continue. Number 6. You have to pick up the tickets from the box office. This is a bit harder. Let's see if you can come up with this one. I don't know. I think it's tricky. Let's see. When you have your ideas, always include it in the chat box. Just in case, right, I'm going to, let's clarify here what is the tense, let's say, we are using. Yes, we are using have to. Yes, remember that when you use have to, then the following verb is always in the base form, right? Exactly, Fidel there is giving us an answer. Um, the tickets have to be picked up. Fidel, be careful with the participle. Yes, remember that the other part, it's always supposed to be in the participle form. So have to be, and then you go with picked up, which is our participle version. Excellent, excellent. The tickets have to be picked up from the box office. In this case, we are not saying who, we are using the passive version. Yeah, they have to be picked up by someone. Okay, next. We have their number 7. They hadn't told the actor about the changes in the script. Past perfect we have this time. Past perfect, remember, combination of had and participle. What can you think of for the answer of this exercise? Hasn't been told, almost. Hasn't been told is present perfect, is not past perfect. How do we create past perfect? No? Let's reveal. The actor hadn't been told. right? Not hasn't, because hasn't is present perfect, but hadn't. Yes, the actor hadn't been told about the changes in the script. Yes. Now, number 8. James Cameron directed Avatar. This is a bit more straightforward. And it's an expression that we might be more familiar with because it's what we typically see at the beginning or maybe at the ending of a movie. Exactly. Was directed by. Yeah, and we typically see directed by Fulanito, right? Avatar was directed by James Cameron. Awesome. Then we go with number 9. They've already recorded the soundtrack. Present perfect this time. They've already recorded. Use already in your new version. No ideas for this one? They've already recorded the soundtrack. Had been recorded, says Robert. Almost, close, close. 2 problems there, Robert. Exactly. Ruth close. Ruth was closer, also with a little problem. Let's repeat the answer. The soundtrack has already been recorded. Yes. Remember that when we use exactly, Fidel is writing there the answer. Yes. When we use already, we typically put it there between our have and our verb in the participle. Okay. Good. The last one, we have one last one. They were interviewing the director about the movie. Past continuous. So a version of be and an ing, a be in the past. Nobody knows this one apparently, huh? A bit tricky. Let's see the answer together. Let's reveal. Oh, up here, there. Okay. The director was being interviewed about the movie. So remember the one about my laptop is being repaired. That one was present continuous, right? Is being. Now we go with the past continuous. Was being. Yes. Alternatively, if it was plural, were being. Yeah. Exactly. Fidel got it right. Was being. About the movie, yes, is the ending. So there you have all of the answers one more time, yes, to go through them. But now let's move on with another activity. Now, I included a similar activity, or actually pretty much the same, but with other questions in the video lessons, in the ones that you watch. I assume you watch them. I don't know. Did you find them difficult to transform? Here we have a series of 8 questions. Yes, the idea is for you guys to think how to create that question in a passive voice. Yes, you have there the verbs that you are supposed to use to create the questions. Of course, always the verb that you see there is going to be later presented in the participle. The trick here is knowing how to use be, what version of be you're supposed to use. So let's do this orally. Yes, so I will go picking people to help me out. Yes, so let's work together on this one. And let's start with number 13. Robert, would you like to help me please with this one?
Hello, teacher.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Robert? Thank you very much. So Robert, this is the mission. You have there a question, and you are supposed to complete that question using the verb you see there. We are supposed to use the verb pay, but we are supposed to use that verb in the passive version, combination of be and the participle. Do you have any idea on how to complete this question?
I don't know, teacher.
No idea. No idea. Okay.
No.
Somebody in the chat group, in the chat box, maybe can help us. Difficult exercise, apparently, this one. A bit tricky. It's a bit tricky. They are not giving us any clues also in the chat box. If people are a bit lost, let's do this one together then, this first one I will reveal. Well, here you notice, right? Can you please read the question, Robert?
Which jobs in your country do you think are not paid enough or paid too much?
Exactly, right? So which jobs in your country do you think are not paid enough or B, paid too much? So again, we're not saying paid by who, that's why we consider it to be passive. But Robert, I want to hear your opinion. Which jobs do you think that here in Paraguay are not paid enough?
I think the teachers.
I like that opinion, indeed, right? Teacher salary is always questionable, right? Exactly, true, yes. And who would you say is paid too much?
The public, I say, how do you say?
Some public employees, some public servants.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Some, right? Let's say some, not
some.
all of them, right? But some of them. Okay, that's true. That's true. Okay, thank you, Robert. Now let's move on to the next one. Fidel, can you please help me with the next one?
Okay. Have you ever been photographed by a professional photographer?
Exactly, Fidel here very quickly he got it, huh? So have you ever been photographed by a professional photographer is the question. Fidel, what about you? Have you ever been photographed by a professional photographer?
No, I haven't.
No, not in the preschool clausura and company, for example.
Oh, yes.
Ah, you see, everybody has experience with a professional photographer. Yeah, so sometimes
Yeah.
the events in school, right? What events, for example, or maybe at somebody's birthday party? I don't know. Tell me. Graduation.
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you, Fidel?
I'm 19 years old.
19 years old. So you finished high school recently, let's say.
Yeah.
And so during your graduation ceremony, there were a lot of pictures taken by photographers, right?
Exactly.
Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you very much, Fidel. Let's continue with Ruth for the next one, for number 15.
Do you often get asked to show your ID?
Remember, Ruth, that we are not using do you, right? But we are supposed to use be, right? Here, the blue box is always a version of be. The orange box is always a version of the participle. What you asked me is not grammatically incorrect, but you kind of included some additional elements, let's say.
Are you often being asked?
Oh, almost. Directly, are you often asked? Because here you already have your be, and this one is your participle. So, are you often asked is your question, yes? So, are you often asked to show your ID, Ruth?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
But you're young, you're like 16, 17 probably.
Yes, 17.
And when you go to, do you ever go to these parties where they are supposed to check whether you are old enough or not? You're not old enough to go yet, right?
No.
Suspicious, unless you are going with a fake ID. Okay, so you don't get asked to show your ID. No. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Ruth. Marcelo, can you please help us with the next one? Marcelo? No idea.
Let me see. How do you feel about being when you speak English? How do you feel? How do you feel being when you are speaking English? Something like that.
You are supposed to use the verb correct. Yes. The idea is to use correct in this question. How do you feel about when you are speaking English?
I have no idea either.
No idea. In the chat box, somebody can help us? No help from the chat box either? Suspicious. Marcelo was left alone. The answer for this one, Marcelo, can you please read it?
How do you feel about being correct when you are speaking English?
About being corrected, right? When you're speaking English. How do you feel about that, Marcelo? When you're speaking and somebody corrects you, how do you feel?
I feel fine because it's trying to help me to improve my English.
Exactly, of course, of course. Yeah, sometimes we might feel a bit intimidated and we might feel a bit shy, but that is the correct attitude because here we are learning, right? So we should try to see corrections with a positive perspective, right? Awesome. Thank you, Marcelo. Thank you. Let me see who else I have here in my chat section. Santiago Moreno.
Hello.
Hello, Santiago. How are you? Can you help us with our next question, number 17?
Okay, I will try.
Okay.
Do you think life skill like cooking should be teaching in school?
Almost. What is the participle version of teach?
Teach it.
Because it's irregular. The participle version is taught. So can you please read our correct question?
Okay. Do you think life skill like cooking should be taught in
Taught.
school?
So it should be taught in school. What do you think, Santiago? Do you think that this
What is exactly taught, teacher?
taught, the past version of teach? You know, like I teach English. Okay. Do you think that people should teach how to cook?
Yes, sometimes. Um, I think English is the most important
You think English
when
is
you
the
are
most
a
important?
child. Yes.
But what about the things that we need for the house? You know, like the typical things we do in the house, like cooking or I don't know, cleaning, sewing, maybe to repair clothes. Do you think that those are things that we should learn at school?
Yes, why not? Is there time, maybe?
Okay, but it's not a priority.
No, really.
No, not really, not really. Okay, very good. Thank you, Santiago.
Okay.
Good. Let's go back to Robert for number 18.
This is easy, teacher.
This one is easy. Let's see. Suspicious.
Have you ever have you ever been attacked by an animal?
Correct. Have you ever been attacked by an animal? Have you, Robert, been attacked?
Never.
Never. Are you afraid of animals? I am terrified of dogs, for example.
Only for the spider.
Spiders. Oh, okay. Some people are afraid of spiders. That makes sense. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Robert. Marcelo, what about 19?
Okay. Has one of your vacation or flight ever been canceled?
Exactly. Has one of your vacations or flight ever been canceled? Have you ever
Yes.
had an experience?
No, I have never been abroad.
Okay, okay. You've never been abroad. Okay. And what
But
about anyone here in the class? Like during this pandemic, did you have any vacation plans, travel plans that were canceled because of this situation that we are in this lockdown?
yes, I was thinking.
Yes.
Yes, both Ruth and Marcelo. Uh, Ruth, can you please share your experience?
I was supposed to travel like with all my classmates at the
Mhm.
end of the year, but I don't think that that's going to happen.
Right, right. You're finishing high school this year, Ruth.
Yes,
Uh,
sadly.
yeah, and then you're gonna finish it in the distance form and no travel at the end. Ah, yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be special, I imagine, right? Especially moments. Okay, thank you, Ruth. Marcelo, did you say that you also have to cancel something?
Yes, I was thinking to travel to the lesson, but I can't because there's a lot of control on the road, and that's the problem.
Exactly. We cannot even travel internally, right? We even have complications for that. That's true. Yeah.
You
Thank
can
you.
easily go to
It's very
it's very
difficult to move, right? Yes. Thank you, Marcelo. Yeah, we have to stay home to stay safe as well, right? So it makes sense. Fidel, what about number 20?
Okay, how soon do you think ebooks will be used in all schools instead of paper books?
Hmm. Correct. How soon do you think ebooks will be used? What do you think about this topic, Fidel? Do you think that ebooks will replace physical books?
I think so
How
because
soon?
um, perhaps in, let me see, in perhaps in 1 year, in one
Maybe
year.
1 year already.
Yeah,
With our current situation that everybody is turning to the digital world, right?
yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Yes. Okay.
Currently, for example, we are using some apps. So most of the homework are sent by, for example, ebooks and by PDF, something
Exactly.
like that.
Exactly. Exactly. We are using digital versions of books. But do you have the physical book for this English class?
Of course.
Oh, of course. Okay. Okay. Good. Marcelo, do you
Yeah.
want to say something? I see that you opened your microphone. No. Okay.
no, no,
No.
just
No.
that.
Okay. Vivian Nalerio. I hadn't seen you before. Vivian, are you there? Apparently she isn't. Okay, never mind. And good. So this was just to apply our expressions of the passive form. Yes. But before we run out of time, I also want to review a little bit Unit 6B. Remember, Unit 6B was all about appearance, judging by appearances, right? And then we were making our deductions. In this unit, we did together one of the grammar exercises in the e-classes, and then I showed you the other one in the video lessons, right? I don't know if you saw the video lessons actually, but I am going to assume you have access to the video lessons in our CCPA platform. So let's go to the workbook section, okay? Page 41. If you have your books with you, let's go over there. Uh, and while you get there, let's remember what we were covering in this unit. The vocabulary was all about body parts and actions with these different body parts. And then in our grammar, we had our expressions for deduction, right? When we were pretty sure something was true, we would use must. When we weren't very sure, we would go with may, might, or could, or maybe might not, could not. And finally, when we were pretty sure that something wasn't true, we would go with can't, right? So those were our options, just to refresh a little bit. And then follow always with the base form, like this can't be, I don't know, the real class. This is too, I don't know, strange, whatever. Let's see what we have to complete here in the workbook. Page 41, our first exercise we have some images and we are supposed to, based on the images and the context they give us, we have to choose the correct modal verb to complete the sentences. They give us two options. Yes. Let's look at our example, just in case. It says, that woman can't be the new manager. Our new manager is a man, right? Although nowadays, gender neutrality is, anyways, but that is our deduction based on what we are seeing from the image and from the context presented in the sentence. Okay, good. So let's work again together on number one. Let's see who can help me with this one. Ruth, can you help me?
Yes.
Okay.
You must be tired. You had a long trip.
Exactly. You must be tired. You had a long trip. That is correct. What about number three? Santiago, can you help us out here?
Um, they can't have much money. Sorry,
Correct, correct. They can't have much money.
they must, or
It's correct. They can't is
can
the
you repeat?
they can't is correct. They
Ah,
can't
okay.
have much money. But the sentence continues.
They never got out.
They never go out, right? So that is where we get our conclusion that they can't have much money because they never go out. Maybe they are teachers, right?
Mhm.
Suspicious.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Let's continue with, thank you, Santiago. Alejandro Ruiz, are you around?
Yes,
Hello, Alejandro, how are you?
fine, thank you.
When did you join the class? How long ago?
No, 5 minutes.
5 minutes ago. I didn't recognize your name. Okay, Alejandro, we are here working with models of deductions. Remember this topic? So please help us with
Yes,
number 4.
okay. And don't buy Oliver a book. He um, might not like the same kind of things as you.
Correct. He might not. We don't really know, but he might not. Alejandro, have you ever received a book as a present?
Yes,
Did you like it?
yes, is one of my favorite books. And yes,
What book was it?
Percy Jackson and the El Ladrón del Rayo.
Ah, okay, okay. I know the series. Okay, very good. I heard good things about it. I haven't read it myself. Thank you very much, Alejandro.
You're welcome.
Continue with 5. Again, I'm calling to Vivian in case she's around. Vivian, are you there? Vivian Nalerio? Yes, Nalerio. But I think Vivian is not really there. She's here, she's here. Hello, Vivian.
Hello, teacher.
How are you? Can you help us with number 5, Vivian?
Yes. Number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Paula can be invited to that's the best time ever for a marathon.
That is correct. Paula can't be injured. That's her best time ever for a marathon. We assume she's healthy, right? Correct. Thank you very much, Vivian.
Okay, teacher.
And then we have number 6. For number 6, Fidel, can you help us out?
Okay. Your neighbor must have a good job. Those cars are really expensive.
Exactly. Or maybe he is a narco or something, right? A drug dealer. Okay, good. Good, right? We are using here must, yes, because we feel pretty sure about it. Now, would you like to practice some more on? Oh wait, we have exercise B to continue. Yes. So on exercise B, basically we have And they give us here limited options, people. Yes, they give us here the options of using must, might not, or can't. Yes, no could, no may. Yes, only, but just because of the options of the exercise. Again, based on the context, we are supposed to determine what is the corresponding deduction that we're supposed to make, right? The example, he lived in Argentina for 5 years, so he must speak Spanish well. And that is our deduction. Robert, what about number 2? What do you think?
You can be very busy at work. You are always on Facebook.
Suspicious! People on Facebook all the time. Is that your case, Robert? Do you ever check Facebook when you're supposed to be working?
No.
Not really. I'm very serious.
I use no, I use Twitter.
So you use Twitter during work. Okay, more discreet, right? Thank you, Robert. Thank you. What about number 3? For number 3, can you help us here, Marcelo?
Okay, teacher. I'm not sure, but Jenna might be on vacation. She didn't come to work today.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not sure. Yeah, we go with might. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, good. Or maybe she's in quarantine, right? Suspicious.
Yeah, it might be. She can't travel.
Exactly. She cannot go to work. She cannot go anywhere, right? Okay, thank you very much, Marcelo. Huh?
Just stay at home.
Stay at home, exactly. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Ruth, please, number 4.
Mark passed all his final exams. His parents must be very proud.
That's correct. Yes, his parents must be very proud. Have you taken any exams yet, Ruth, during this quarantine?
No.
No idea how the exams are going to be now that everything is digital?
I don't know, but I don't think that it's going to work very well.
Right, it's going to be difficult at least, right? What are you using? Are you using Google Classroom?
And Classroom and Zoom.
Google Classroom and Zoom. Okay, thanks.
Yes.
My curiosity. Okay, thank you. Good. Let's go with number 5. Santiago, please help us with number 5.
Okay. Do you really think the US will win tonight? You can be serious. They have no chance.
Correct. You can't be serious. They have no chance. What sport do you think they might be talking about?
Maybe soccer.
Maybe soccer, right? Maybe soccer because the US is not particularly famous in soccer, let's say.
Yes.
Right. So maybe they're talking about soccer. Exactly. Thank you very much. Let's go to number 6. For number 6, this time, let's see. Suspicious. I don't know. I lost my order keeps moving here, so I lose the names of the people. I don't remember the order. Fidel, please help me.
Okay. Lucy wasn't feeling well this afternoon. She might not come to the party tonight. She said she would let us know later today.
Exactly. This is me because I never want to guarantee my presence anywhere, so I might not come to the party. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes. Thank you. Let's continue with number 7. For number 7, Marcelo.
Okay. I thought our neighborhood was away for the weekend, but she can be. I just saw her in the yard.
Correct. She can't be. I just saw her in the yard. And the last one goes to Robert. Oh, suspicious. I give the answer. Well, can you read anyway, Robert?
Thank you, teacher. It's very cold this evening, and there are a lot of clouds. I think It might snow.
It might snow. What do you think about our weather? Do you think it might rain in the next few days?
I think so.
Yes.
In Friday,
Friday. Okay.
tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow. Okay, thank you, thank you. So there you have all of the answers for this exercise. Yes, but now I would like what I believe that this unit was a bit easier. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the impression I get that these models of deductions are a bit easier than what we were talking before, which is the part of the passive, right? So why don't we check out also the workbook for the passive voice? Yes. So go to your workbooks on page 37, and I'm going to organize here my screen share. Yes. So on page 37 of your workbooks, we have the section of the passive voice. Yes. So this time around, let's work here on the grammar part. I didn't really, this was my extra. You were really fast today, so I prepared this as an extra. So let me just amplify the section. Here is where we have our exercise. You are supposed to complete the sentences with the correct passive form of the verbs in the box. And so two activities we have here. First, identify what is the correct verb you need to use. And then second, you are supposed to know how to use it in the passive. Yes, so double trouble for this exercise. So take a second. The example is the movie is directed by Catherine Bigelow. Yeah? In parentheses, they indicate the tense you are supposed to use. That you see in parentheses is supposed to affect the verb be. So let's go completing this. Let's go completing this together. Fidel, can you help me with number 2?
And wait me a moment, teacher, because I'm lost.
You're lost. We're on page 37.
Oh.
Page 37. We are going back. Yes, we are going back to
37.
the unit 6A about the passive. Okay, because we had some extra time, so I want to use it for this. Did you find it?
Oh, okay. The number
Number 2. You're supposed to connect that sentence with a verb and use that verb in the passive form.
funny movie is a comedy.
Exercise 2, the grammar part.
And the grammar. The part of a spider.
That one. The part of a Spider-Man.
The part of Spider-Man is invented. Invited.
You want to use the verb invited.
Yes, invited by Andrew Garfield.
That wouldn't be correct. Somebody, Robert is giving us here our an opinion there in the. But Robert, be careful. Robert says is played. According to the text, we are supposed to use simple past. So no is, but was. Exactly. Over there, Vivian is giving us also her opinion. The part of Spider-Man was played by Andrew Garfield. Okay. Thank you, Fidel. Number 3.
No problem.
Number 3. What do you think for number 3, Robert?
And it was very windy while the sun was should no.
Almost, but no. Was correct, but remember that we need to use past continuous, ing.
Was being shoot.
Egg was being shot. Participle version of shoot, shot. Was being shot. Egg.
Irregular.
Irregular. Thank
Okay.
you. Vivian, what do you think for number 4?
Teacher, the skill,
The sequel, which is the second
um,
part. The
and
sequel
the sequel, why
will be
we relaxed
released.
next year.
Correct.
Release next year.
Awesome. The sequel will be released next year. Perfect. Thank you. Alejandro, what do you think for 5?
Some of the extras going to be invited to the movie premiere.
Almost. Going to be invited. Very good, but we are missing here one part. Remember that it's always be going to. In this case, the extras are going to.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Some of the extras are going to be invited. Good, thank you.
Are going to be. Okay.
Thank you. For number 6, what do you think, Ruth?
The musical, I think it's like show, but I don't know how to, because it said present continuous.
Well, remember, the present continuous part affects only be. All of the verbs that you see there in the list, you are supposed to use in the participle form. So the musical, similar to the one about the car and the repair.
Is being showed.
Exactly. Is being shown, right? Because also irregular. The verb show is irregular. Yes. The musical is being shown in movie theaters all over the country. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Marcelo, what do you think for 7?
The drama had been written into 5 another language.
The drama has been, right? Present perfect because it's an it. Has been, exactly. Has been, oh wait, not written. A different one.
Dubbed.
Exactly. Which is when we change the audio, right? We listen the movie in a different language. And the last one, who can help us with the last one?
I do.
Okay, Santiago.
The script was written
Was written
by the author of the book.
That is correct. So, good. Now, yes, we have run out of time. So with this, we will finish now, indeed, because we have reached our limit and our time limit. So I don't know. The intention of this class was just to refresh those contents that we covered in the past few sessions that maybe we did a bit fast. I hope that this helped you clarify, especially the passive, which I believe is the trickier one, because deduction, I think you were a bit better. And I will see you again, guys, on Saturday. We continue with our Saturday classes at 4. Yes. So now we'll see each other twice a week, on Thursdays at 5, Saturdays at 4, and of course, the meeting is also being recorded if you want to watch it at some other time if you cannot attend the live session. Okay. So goodbye for now. Remember, if you have any problems, you need to get in touch with CCPA. Those are the phone numbers that you can get in touch with. And that will be it for this class.
Teacher, we don't have to be worried about the exam now, right?
No, don't worry about the exam, Marcelo. No, no, exactly. Yes, don't think about the exam yet. We will eventually present you the evaluation, suspicious. Yeah, we continue with Unit 7A on Saturday, okay?
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
teacher.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
teacher.
teacher.
Bye, nice working with you all. Good, if there are no further questions, I'm ending the session then. Thank you, bye everybody.